Alright, so we're in the garden. We're going to pick up some rosemary, some thyme, a little bit of basil, and some tomatoes, whatever else we can just muster up for the. Alright, so we're in the garden and we're grabbing some rosemary, which I like to put in the little scores in the salmon. So by slicing or scoring the salmon, it lets some of the smoke in to the inner part of the meat. How many times have you had smoked something and it's just the outside of the skin that's all smoked? So and the rosemary, aside from flavoring it, also helps to like keep it open so that smoke and stuff can get in there. So I like to do this, and I'll also cut some thyme. It's really good in there too. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need to do salmon, the way I do it. You can do it any way you want to, and you'll see that there's not a whole lot of measuring going on. You can adapt it to whatever you've got or whatever you like. But we've got salmon, fresh, wild caught right here, Savannah, Georgia. This is from Publix. You can use any salmon. We've got rosemary, thyme, got some basil for later. This is the way I do it. So I take white wine vinegar, some tamari sauce, and lemon. Mix that together. Pour that on the salmon after I've scored it. Then olive oil, mustard, and honey. And then we'll heat that up just so it emulsifies. Pour that over the salmon. Put the rosemary and the thyme in some scores. And that's all you need for that. Then for the grill, we've got these planks. And Jenna Knox from Fire and Flavor does these great grilling planks. And she's a friend of ours. And we use her planks. She uses our honey, and I use them to grill, and they're awesome. So you can get cedar ones, maple ones, I think oak, and I don't think it matters. Just really, the cedar kind of flavors what you're, whatever you're cooking. So if you like cedar, use that one. And these get soaked for 30 minutes, and then that's it. Okay, so I sort of see two different parts. Vinegar, a little tamari, and the lemon, I see it like the acids. I mix those up first, so let's just go ahead and do that. And I carefully measure everything, as you can see. I think you just do it however you want to do it. It's never the same, but it always works out. I really don't think this part matters as much. Really just do enough to match the size of the fish or chicken or whatever you're cooking. I mean, the point is that you just get this stuff all over it. Let it sit for a little while and just help it out. All right. Lemon. Okay. And there's plenty of times I just go straight on the fish. So I don't think it really matters. This part I think is different, and I'm sure there's many different ways of doing it. This is the way I like to do it. Is I'll slice it because I like to get the smoke further down into the meat. So many times, that skin, the outside is the best part, but the inside just doesn't have all the goodie in it. So it's a little unorthodox, but I think this works. So one way to keep these little slices open is with rosemary and thyme. So I'll put these inside the slice. Helps keep it open, it lets that smoke and just the whole grill go to work on the inside. And you can, if you have different herbs that you like, tarragon, whatever you want, lemon, you can put anything in here. This is what I like to do. And of course, it doesn't matter how many, how much. I just think you kind of want to put enough in there that it kind of opens them up. And these we cut right out of the garden. It's kind of fun. Otherwise, what do you do with all that stuff you put out? Alright, so we've done that. That kind of lets everything kind of seep inside, including this marinade that we're doing. So put that on. The way I see this is these little acid things kind of go to work on it. And then next we're going to do sort of a glaze using honey, olive oil, and mustard. Okay, and this is what I think is pretty cool. So you make a glaze, you're using olive oil, and I'm calling it a glaze, and all that matters is that it kind of all emulsifies and stays mixed up, right? Put honey in it. And again, I honestly don't think that it matters how much of whatever you put. The main thing, the more mustard you put in there, the more it's going to just thicken up. Mustard apparently has something that is the same thing that's in egg yolks, and so that's what makes it just emulsify and stay that way. All right. Again, careful measurements. And then because there's the honey, and what you want to do is you want to heat it up, and that's what makes the honey liquefy. So you want them, you can do it in a microwave, you can do it any way you want. But what I do is put it over here over the fire, and just stir it. And you'll be able to see it. And it doesn't mix, doesn't mix. But as soon as it warms up, everything kind of goes together in one little nice glaze. And again, the more mustard, the thicker. I mean, you can make it where you draw lines through it with a whisk if you want to. I guess it just depends. If you were going to use this as like a sauce after that you pulled out your meat, it could be salmon, it could be lamb, it could be duck, it could be whatever you want. Then I'd probably make it a little thicker so that it just kind of stays on the top. Okay, and then you'll see that it just kind of thickens up. And I mean, you can, I guess you couldn't call it a glaze, but you can then, you could add rice wine vinegar and use it for duck or something kind of oriental. You can do whatever you want, but you see how nice and thick that gets? I think that's cool. And then I'll pour this over. Meanwhile, the grill is going and it's all warmed up. The planks are soaking, and so we'll let this sit until, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. You can do it an hour, doesn't really matter, just as long as you've got time. You can make this as fast as you want to, as long as your grill is ready. So let's go check it out. Okay, so we're at the grill. The grill is ready. I mean, this is a big green egg. I don't know if whoever doesn't know about this, this is the best grill ever. You can regulate the temperature. You can cook or smoke something at 200 degrees for 10 hours, and then you don't have to add more charcoal. You can change the temperature just by dialing in this little bit, but how much air you let in the bottom and the top. Anyway, it's a great grill. But we're not here to talk about the grill. So we have to soak the planks. You're supposed to soak them 30 minutes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But before you put the fish on them or whatever meat you're putting on there, you warm them up. So you gotta put them down for 10 minutes or so. Just let that side warm up so that when you put the fish on there, it starts to warm up and kind of cook the bottom of the fish. Otherwise, you're cooking entirely from the top down and it's not as good. The other thing I have, and I think it's indispensable, is a digital thermometer. There's no guesswork, there's no cutting into the meat. Is it ready? Is it bleeding? You put this on there. For salmon, if you want it to be rare, you take it off about 140. If you want it to be medium, take it off about 150. If you want it to be well done, 160. But yeah, it takes the guesswork out. It's awesome. Even has an alarm on there. The other thing, of course, we sell honey, and so we have this grill honey, and we did use it in the marinade. I don't think that's as important, but the best thing, and this is the one thing you got to take away, is right before you take the meat off, you put this honey right over the outside of it. Like when this digital thermometer says 140, I'll drizzle honey all over it, 1 or 2 minutes, and then take it off. And that really, really does make the difference. You got to trust it. The other thing you can't forget is your beer. Okay, so planks have been on there, heating up, warping. Flip them over, hot side up, and then we're gonna put the salmon on. The temperature of the grill, I try and keep it around 400. But these planks, that's the beauty of these planks, is it doesn't even matter. It can be 500, it can be 300. The thing is, it won't burn from the bottom, so you have a lot of leeway. Then I like to, we've got hickory trees growing in the yard, so I pick up the sticks, soak them with the planks, and then put these wet little hickory sticks in there. But we also, I'll put the hickory nut that the squirrels are cut in half. I'll put the shells, the husk, it doesn't matter, but the hickory just makes a great smoke, I think, and gives it a lot of flavor. All right, and that's it. Oh, wait. And this is the key. If you don't have a digital thermometer, you're missing out. This tells you everything. You don't have to, no guesswork. And there it is. So I'm going to set the alarm so that it goes off at 140. And it'll tell me as soon as it goes off, honey goes on. 1 or 2 more minutes and it's done. So our alarm has gone off. The salmon is basically ready. And this really is key. And you're going to think, I'm just trying to sell you honey, but if you do this, I'm just telling you, try this. Kids, everybody likes it. And it doesn't make it that sweet, but the honey kind of just, it runs off because it's so warm and honey really thins out. But it just leaves this great, sweet, kind of caramelized residue on there. So I do that, and then we open it all the way up, crank the heat for like just 1 minute, and then it's ready. And you take it off, and I'm telling you, it's going to be the best salmon you ever had. Hot thermometer. Salmon is ready, and just to make it easy, we'll kind of cut it in half. Just can't get this off. These planks, you can wash them off. Sometimes after you like crank the grill like we just did, the bottoms get a little hot. You can just spray them down or put them back in the water. But that's it. And that is our salmon. And we'll load it up with basil and serve it either on a salad or however. But that's what it comes out like. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope this has inspired you to make some honey-glazed salmon, and I think you'll be happy. It's delicious.